What's up everyone, Starman2290 here, and today I have a video game review on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So over the past couple of months I have been playing this game and keeping up with it after I kind of abandoned Dead by Daylight. This game came out about a month ago, and it's actually a pretty neat little game. You actually have it's quite a unique take on horror because you have to think of it as a movie basically, but you have a bunch of different characters and play styles in this game which differ from some of the other asymmetrical horror games like Dead by Daylight and Video Horror Society, which I've also played. So basically the storyline behind this game is Maria Flores, the driving force behind the plot of the game. She actually came up to the Sawyer house after meeting two of the characters. I think it was Johnny and Sissy, and unfortunately they took her to the Slaughter family, or Sawyer family if you prefer that name, and basically they turned her into barbecue as they do in the movie. And our cast of characters here went and started looking for Maria, and as a result, they ran into the Slaughter family, so unfortunately, things didn't turn out very well for them. So, what does the gameplay include? Well, you have the two different sides, like in Dead by Daylight and Video Horror Society, which sadly recently closed down. It was a pretty good game, but you have 5 different characters on both sides, and you have more on the way later. So you have, for additional DLC. So you have Anna, Sunny, Leland, Connie, and Julie, who are the protagonists. And then you have the antagonists, the Slaughter family. So you've got the 3 main ones from the original movie, which this game actually pays tribute to. And then you have 2 new characters, which are original, Johnny and Sissy, who kind of come around the Slaughter family from time to time, although they're not directly related as far as I'm aware. And the next character that'll be added will be Black Nancy, whoever that is, which is Johnny's mother, I guess. But the victims get captured by the Slaughter family, and the goal is to survive and escape. Now, this game is actually a 4 versus 3 instead of the typical 4 versus 1. So a lot of other games have 2 teams where you're on one by yourself, like Ghostbusters, Dead by Daylight, and Video Horror Society did. And this game's quite interesting because you have 3 characters on the team, so you could have like Hitchhiker, Cook, and Leatherface. So you could have the original 3 and they pair together, and then maybe, I'll just say these 4 victims here, leaving Julie out. And yeah, your goal is to work together to escape. Now, from what I've found during solo queue gameplay, if you lose one of the team members or don't communicate very well, it's quite easy for the victims to escape. So the developers actually said that this is a party game, so you'll want to play this with your friends. It's decent for solo queue when you're playing on your own. I've played quite a bit of Victim, but I've been more interested in playing Family recently. But play this game with your friends if you do get it, or try to find some new people to play with. This game's actually quite unique because you have 3 different maps, but nothing's ever quite the same because each player has different abilities and skills, of course. So someone who'd be playing Dead by Daylight more than like a shooter game would obviously have more experience with this kind of game, so they'd be better. This game actually, while it's a horror game, the sense of horror does kind of diminish as you play it. But for me, I actually feel it's still pretty intense because it feels like you're going to die at any minute when you're playing at Victim, because you never know what attributes or perks someone's bringing. Like, someone could be running a giant savagery build where they kill you in like one hit, or maybe someone's playing Hitchhiker with, let's say, an endurance build, and they're able to catch up to you, so the chase is on for quite some time before you can escape. So the main goal in this game is to find one of 4 exits and complete the steps required to get to it. So for example, let's take the fuse box. You'll have to find a fuse on the map and then take that to the fuse box, complete a little mini game, and then run to the exit and escape before the timer ends. If the family's working together, that can be difficult at times. So against very competent characters or players, this game's kind of hard, but that's where the teamwork comes in, because this is a party game. It's a casual party game intended to have fun. It's not a competitive game like Dead by Daylight or Video Horror Society, which sort of went along the lines between casual and competitive. But this game's pretty chill. The only issue is the community is trying to change this game into a competitive game. I mean, that you'd expect that to happen because you've got 2 sides trying to compete here, and one side's going to win and the other side's going to lose. There isn't really any defined way of winning or losing, but you can kind of assume that if all 4 victims escape, then you've lost. But the goal here is to have fun, so usually when I play Victim, I actually think of this as like a movie. So you have the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where 4 of the 5 victims died. So like you had Frank, who got carved up by Leatherface's chainsaw, and then you had his sister Sally, who was the sole survivor. So treat this as like a movie and try to try to survive as long as you can. You're not guaranteed to get out, but that's what's fun about it. Try to survive as long as you can, and if you get out, great. It won't really make a difference. As for family, it can get a little annoying sometimes when you don't have good teammates, because I've run into situations where some teammates have disconnected, but yeah, so the game's actually really fun if you have the right mindset and don't treat it as a competitive game, so try not to do that. But each character has their own abilities, as I said earlier. So you've got Anna's right here, which is Pain is Nothing. So this will actually decrease the damage of you take. So Toughness is just the general health you have as far as attributes are concerned. But if you pair Toughness with like a level 3 Pain is Nothing and go for like damage reduction, then you'll be basically invincible, from what I've heard. And there's also a bunch of perks that you can unlock when you use your skill tree as well, which is actually kind of interesting. This game is quite... I want to say it's not bad, it's just a little annoying. The skill tree, it takes a little while, because you start here and then you have multiple paths to unlock. It took me a little while to actually level Cook up. In fact, I'm not completely done, but it took me a while to find the actual correct path that I wanted for him. So, oh, why is this unequipped? I wanted to go for a support build. So he's not the best at chasing, but I decided to help increase his chase potential and endurance. And then I've got Blood Harvesting here so he can support. And then with Leatherface, I think the most common thing is Savagery build, where you dump everything into Savagery and run basically all Savagery perks. This is just a support tool right here. You can see that I've got Leatherface at level 3. He's my most played, I believe. I'm still working to level up a couple of other characters like Hitchhiker here, who has traps that he can place, so think of him as Trapper in Dead by Daylight a little bit. Johnny, he isn't he's probably the lowest on my list as far as characters go. His abilities aren't as good as Cook and Sissy. Sissy, sorry. Sissy's probably the most powerful character. Once you level her up, her savagery is quite low, and so is her endurance. But if you pair her with the right perks and stuff and attributes, then she'll be really powerful. So this is an asymmetrical war game. It'll never be balanced truly compared to like a symmetrical game. Now with that, the developers actually said that the family is supposed to feel powerful because they're the killers and your goal is to survive them. I mean, if you were in a real life situation like this, you wouldn't have any balance. You'd have serial killers after you who want to eat you and turn you into barbecue for their dinner. And I agree with that statement. I mean, the game isn't too bad. You just gotta play with friends and come up with opportunities on the fly. So sometimes you gotta adjust your plans. And yeah, and one of the good things about this game is you actually get rewards for leveling up instead of paying to play like Dead by Daylight is, essentially. So everything right now can be earned by just playing, so different outfits and skill tree and stuff. So I'd have to give this game probably a 7 out of 10. It's not the best given the current bullying situation. There's some mechanics that victims have been exploiting, such as Leland's ability where he can stun the family member. I've had a lot of people trying to stun me as Leatherface and teabag me, and sometimes you've got bully squads who will abuse bone scraps and just try to stun you over and over again. But that's going to be patched out tomorrow, hopefully, from what the devs reported. So that's very good as far as this game's concerned. It's headed down a very good track. Maybe the community could be a little better, but you have a lot of Dead by Daylight players in here who sort of moved over, and they're kind of trying to make this game a little more competitive. The developers have actually been quite amazing because they are actually very open with all of their changes and they listen to the community, unlike what some people would say. So like, Video Horror Society did communicate with the players, but they had a period where they were silent for, I think, around 3 months, and they had very crappy development, and things were just kind of a mess, and the game ended up shutting down. Dead by Daylight, the developers don't listen to anyone, really. They just kind of do their own thing. They do take feedback probably, like, once in a while, but they don't really listen to their community. So this game is definitely a must-have if you are a fan of horror and are looking for something new. And make sure you don't play too much, and especially don't play in solo queue, because, at least as family, because you will be disappointed if you're one of those competitive people who wants to win. This game isn't really built for that if you're not playing in a party. This is a party game, which is where you're supposed to have fun with friends after like a long day of work or school and just want to relax. So, yeah, I really like this game, and I would recommend it. I'll have a video up of me playing with some more clips in a little while, but I hope you enjoyed. And again, this is Starman 2290, and my rating for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a 7 out of 10. So very great game. Make sure you buy it when it's on sale, and it'll have additional content coming somewhere along the future once the developers fix all the bugs and or roll out the next update, I guess, and address the bullying situation. Also, the final thing, this game has crossplay, which is currently disabled due to PC cheaters. However, they will be bringing it back soon, probably within the next, I want to guess, 1 or 2 months. They said that they would hope it would be back in a few weeks, but let's be honest, it takes a little while longer than a few weeks to resolve major cheats like in this game. I'm not crapping on the devs. They've done an awesome job with this game, and yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my review, and thanks for watching, and have a good one.